Okay, guys, it is finally here. The PDF for the Building Better Worlds expansion book has finally been sent to me, and yeah, this is going to be a quick preview of what you've got to look forward to. So this book actually has a lot of stuff in it. So yeah, from my quick flick through, like I haven't gone into like any deep details yet, but there's a lot in this book which makes it really good. So yeah, let's get into the meat of it. So, Building Better Worlds is a book which is centered around the colonies which are on the frontier and the missions which led to their colonization. So, the missions like the Covenant from the film Alien Covenant. Now, what we get in the book is we get a lot of like lore around like the colony missions and things. Once again, I won't spoil any of this because there will probably be lots of this in like the modules, both the official and unofficial, where GMs are going to be running these things. So I won't spoil any of that. What else do you get? There are two new careers. There is the Wildcatter and the Entertainer. And there's also some new flavorings for the careers we've already got. So you can give them like a colonist flavor, and you get to start with different talents and different gear. Um, in addition to that, there's some new gear that you can get with it. So there's some new weapons, there's new armor and equipment for surviving in certain situations. There's quite a few new vehicles which are pretty cool, and also we get some more spacecraft. And in addition to this, there is also the new aliens. So yeah, there are a lot more aliens here to go through. Once again, I will try not to spoil any of this for people, but yeah, just to sum it up, there's some really cool stuff here. It's like the GM, if you're running games, you want to do some cool stuff. There's some really awesome stuff. The rest of the book centers around mainly like there's more like colonies and things which are in here and described, and there are a number of like cinematic scenario missions or small like little side missions that are set out that you can do. So yeah, this book has a surprising amount of bang for buck. So at first, I'm just going to go through the new careers and some of the new like flavors of career that you can make with this book. So you can see here these detail like the new flavors of like the original career. So basically, you can create the other careers, but you can give them a little bit more of customization. So if you want to start as a colonial marine, but you're a colonist colonial marine, you can start with either bodyguard or hard hitter. So you're an ex-marine who's gone into like being a bodyguard for like I don't know, a mob boss, or maybe you're working on the door of some seedy nightclub. And yeah, you can start with different gear as well. So you can also choose stun baton, or handcuffs. So yeah, it can be some cool stuff to do there. Let's see. Let's choose some different ones. You can be a kid, and yeah, growing up in a colony, you can also choose fast reflexes and stealthy. And finally, you can start with some gear which is kind of useful for a kid. So you can have a motion tracker, or you can get a power loader license, which is which is quite funny. It's a fake one, by the way. It's a fake power loader license, so that could be quite fun. And yeah, the other careers have that as well. So medic, you can choose the group psychology or counselor talent, and yeah, you can choose some different gear to start. So some good stuff in here. Now, in addition to those new flavorings for the careers, there's also some new talents. So there's the new talents for the new careers. So there's the Wildcatter and the Entertainer talents, but there's also some new general talents which you can choose, which are kind of cool. Now, the good stuff. So, this handsome chap is the new career called the Wildcatter. So, you can play essentially now as the poor unfortunate family on Acheron in the Aliens film, who go off in their little tractor to try and find their fortune and come across the alien derelict, and they get a face hugger on the face. So, this is Newt's family. And essentially, it's a customized like pilot, which is more geared towards being a survivalist type colonist. So they have the piloting skill, but they also have survival and observation. So essentially, a pilot which is more likely to stay alive for a lot longer. Next, we have the entertainer. So the Entertainer is quite an interesting one, actually. I think there are going to be a lot of characters which use this career, and you can do some really interesting things. So the best way to think of the Entertainer is you're kind of like a femme fatale. Like I think that's the archetype they've gone for here, in that you're someone that's working in a seedy club or something, but also you've got teeth. So not only are you good at manipulation, but also you can dish out a little bit of punishment every now and again. So they can start with some cool like talent. So they can have quick draw. So yeah, they can do some really interesting things. And I think there's going to be a lot of characters built around this career, which are going to be really, really fun in games. Next, we have some of the new weapons. So there's some new pistols here. Once again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. Feel free to look through them when you get your own version, or you can pause this video and have a little look. But yeah, essentially there's some cool like new weapons with some new flavors and things. Like, for example, we've got a rifle here called the Wayland Supernova Dual Action Shotgun, and it can stun people, which is pretty cool. So that's interesting. And yeah, there's also more armor and things you can have as well. So you can see here we've got some of the new like fatigues and armor and things. And yeah, a lot of these are geared towards survival. So you can see here you can get thermal boots, which give you bonuses against resisting cold. And my personal favorite, the platypus fins, which give you a +2 bonus to mobility rolls which are underwater. So you can make adventures which are underwater, and you could go to like underwater science stations and things. And yeah, if you remember Alien Resurrection, you'll remember that xenomorphs are actually really good swimmers. So you could have some cool adventures like going underwater into these science stations, and instead of explosive decompression in space, you could have like sections like be breached and flood with seawater and things. So yeah, some really cool stuff in here to give your campaigns a lot more flavor. And yeah, here's some of the more the armor and things that you can have. And yeah, a lot of this is like armor, but it's got like a little bit of a lean towards like survival in really extreme environments and things. So lots of cool stuff in here. And yeah, some more useful stuff. Like one of the things I noted, which was quite good, was the heavy safari pack. So basically, it's a backpack, and it can increase your carrying capacity by 2. But that's not it. It can also store your supplies. So it can supply. Let's see, it's equipped with a med kit, and it's got a supply rating of 6 of food and water. So you don't have to keep track of that supply in your inventory. That can just be part of your safari pack. So yeah, this could be good if you're going on like a long expedition, like away from the ship out into the wilderness. You can really open up a lot more options and things. And yeah, there's more stuff. There's like mining tools and things, and there's even like a ship which is dedicated to mining as well. So there's some cool stuff in this. Up next, we've got the new vehicles. So some nice stuff. So finally, we get the personnel carrier from the Prometheus film. So we get this happy chappy here. And we get some other cool stuff as well. Like one of the things which I found, which is pretty freaking awesome, is this thing here. It's called the XT-37C Stinger. And yeah, this large thing here, at first I thought it was a gun. It is a grapple. It is a long like pole with a snare on it. So yeah, this is kind of like sort of if you've ever seen Jurassic Park Lost World, where like the corporate people come and like try and snare all the dinosaurs. This is kind of one of those vehicles. So I could see this being really cool. Maybe you have to capture a xenomorph and you have to speed after it. Or even like you could be like bounty hunters and some poor sod is like running away, and yeah, you have to go and snare him with this before he can get away. Just snare him by the neck. Yeah, some really cool stuff. But yeah, now we get into some of the more cool stuff. So you can get in this like little pressure pod, which is kind of like one of the pods from like 2001: A Space Odyssey. So it's a bit more hardcore though, like with all these like these armatures and things around it. It looks really cool. Maybe you could do that for like repairing ships, or you could have this little thing as a little exploring thing you can hop into when you find derelicts and things. What else have we got? We have the landing shuttle from Covenant, and yeah, as I said, like I'm not a big fan of that film, but what I am a fan of is some of like the vehicle designs in it and the ship designs. And yeah, I really like this. This is a really nuts and bolts. It's no nonsense. It's here to do a job and do the job well and not break. And yeah, it's pretty fast as well. It can travel Mach 6, so yeah, it's quick. There's also rules here for like a civilian Cheyenne dropship. So the dropship from Aliens in the Colonial Marines, you can get like a civilian variant, which doesn't have any weaponry, but you can still like use it as a transport. So yeah, that's in there as well. Okay, and now we're coming on to the spaceships and spacecraft. First of all, we've got this excavator like vessel. So it's a mining vessel which can land, and it has a drill which comes out the front and can do mining and things. And yeah, this section it's for like vehicles, so it can carry tractors inside it and things. That's quite cool if you want to run like mining operations or something. Next, we finally get rules for the Heliades class. So this is the same class as the Prometheus, and we've also got a variant called the Magellan, which is also quite similar. It's kind of like a refit, which is a little bit different. It's a little bit faster, if I remember right. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit faster, and it's got some different stuff on board it, and it's a little bit more expensive, but it's newer. Yeah, it's cool. It adds some new sort of options to your gameplay. And here, I'm quite sad about this because it deserved a little bit of art at the very least. So we've got the Affiance class, or the same class that the Covenant was. So this is the big, super big colonist ship. So this can carry 2,000 colonists, and it has a crew of 16 people that have to run it. But yeah, it's essentially the Covenant. So you can have colony ships in your games now. And there are even bigger ones, which are called Deucalion class. So this is an expedition colony carrier, and this thing can carry 10,000 colonists. So this thing is freaking huge. And yeah, it's got a crew of 36 to 10,000. That's interesting, actually. That should be what the crew is creating is here. That should say 16 to 2,000. So yeah, why does that only say 16? And that mentions they can have that entire crew. Little note, just me being a little bit pedantic as a GM. Never mind. Anyway, so you've got these huge like colony ships that you can have now. So this next section is about running campaigns on the frontier. So it's mainly like generating colony worlds and things, and new options for types of colonies and things. So I'll skip past that and we'll get to some good stuff. Here we go. Here's the good stuff. So this book has an expanded guide for xenospecies and aliens. So there's a lot of cool extra life forms in here. So first we have the Abominations. So the Abominations are essentially the zombie-like creatures from Prometheus. So Fifield, he was an abomination, and these are creations of like the black goo from that, and there were certain variants for it. Next, we have the proto-xenomorphs, and I'll just read you this little description. But yeah, this is hardcore. This is awesome. Some strains of the black goo biogenetic accelerant confuse with mechanical forms. Invading power systems, they leach energy to alter the machine's molecular structure to accept a self-replicating parasitic growth of protoplasmorphic life within it. The infected machinery is altered as the life form takes root, growing acidic tendrils and secreting resin that begins to form on the machine's surface. This melding of biology and technology produces the living proto-hive. So what we've got here is a xenomorph, which is kind of like some gnarly techno-virus, which can like meld with technology and take over it. So this is freaking awesome. And yeah, imagine like going on a derelict ship only to turn the power back on and the ship to come alive and try and eat you and destroy you. This is essentially what the proto-xenomorphs are. So this is really cool. I am looking forward to running this in my game. Once again, I'm not going to go into details. I don't want to spoil it for people. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. And finally, we have some variants of the good old-fashioned xenomorphs. So these are just like new flavors of them that you can get. And I'll go for a couple of them. You've got the Empress Queen. So the Empress is like a queen among queens. So memory serves, there's like a home world with like the Xenomorphs on, and there are multiple hives with different queens, and the Empress is like the top queen that keeps the others in check and kicks the crap out of them, basically. So yeah, super nasty. Health 22, armor rating 20. So yeah, have fun fighting that one. Next, we have bioluminescent xenomorphs. So these are ones which can like blind you and like set you on fire and things, and they're really nasty. Finally, we have the section with the different colonies and different like missions that you can go on. So I won't go into too much detail, but yeah, there's quite a few like little expeditions and things which are really well like written out. They're only like maybe 2 to 3 session like little scenarios, but there's a lot of good stuff here. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this quick flick through of the Building Better Worlds expansion book for the Alien RPG. As I said, I think there's a lot of good stuff in this book. It's really, really exciting. Some of like the new Xenomorphs and some of the new careers that you can choose now, and there's new gear, new vehicles, new spaceships. Basically, everything that you could have wanted in an expansion book, they've put it in this book. And yeah, it looks like they've put a lot of effort into it. So, yep, kudos to Free League. Thank you very much for a new book. I am very much looking forward to running this in my own games. So, yeah, if you like the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe. And yeah, if you want help creating your characters, go to the Game Mother website. I will be developing an update for the character creator for Building Better Worlds characters such as the Wildcatter and the Entertainer, and also the custom careers for colonists, colonial marines, and the older careers as well. So, yeah, look forward to that. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.